Richard Crouse.
You play a chef in the film, and early on we see you do some cooking, and you look like you have a natural flair for this. Is this something, do you cook around the house, or have you worked as a cook at any time?
I do cook around the house. It's so funny that when we started, the first day on the set, we had hand doubles ready to go, and I think they were expecting me to chop off my fingers, but apparently the producer had said, maybe we should get dull knives, so, which would have been a disaster, but I remember this sort of look of shock and delight when they saw that I could cut a carrot or something. But I guess I didn't think it was so rare, or maybe they just don't expect actors to have any ability. I took a couple of lessons with this guy Cam, who my character is based on, who is a chef. He's working at Rideau Hall for the Governor General, and he showed me sort of professional chef tricks and how to use towels instead of oven mitts and things like that, and that helped a lot. But I'm sort of proud that people are impressed by my cooking. I like it. I enjoy it. I do really enjoy cooking.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I do most of the cooking around the house. Yeah, and I love it. And well, I find it relaxes me. I find it's a way to sort of chill out and make something, and then at the end of it, you've created something.
Satisfying. Yeah. No, I agree. I'm exactly the same way. I do most of the cooking around the house, and it's a great way to unwind at the end of the day. And it's sort of partially because I'm writing often. I guess you too, and so it's a great way to put that aside and
to sort of walk away from that and do something different,
and do something that will be finished, have a clear ending.
That's right. Yeah. It's interesting because the movie, although it's called Cooking with Stella, isn't really particularly about the food. You have to know what you're doing. You have to look like you know what you're doing. Otherwise, we're not going to believe your character, which is why I asked you about that. But it's sort of more a metaphor for the caste system and how things are going.
I think it's the idea, which is true, that cooking food is a real equalizer, and I think. Toronto's a good example of that as a sort of cross-cultural connection, and it's an equalizer between cultures, but also between classes, and even between genders. I think it's one of the rare things that is so concrete and so easy for everyone to understand that you can't help but sort of be united, bound together with if you're eating with someone or cooking with someone.
Well, we definitely get a sense of that in the film. Your servant, she is your cook in the film. She's calling herself. Well, it's weird because the word servant just doesn't roll off our tongues very easily.
It's very funny. I mean, I'm not sure whether it's a particular Canadian thing, but I know for a fact that I have such awkwardness around people serving me. I just find it really uncomfortable. I've never liked it. I only experience it when I'm traveling or something, or at a hotel like this where we are now. And even here, I feel awkward with the maid coming in, and even at a store, if I get too much attention, when I'm buying shoes or something, I just leave me alone. Kind of, it's a weird thing, and I think maybe it is part of the Canadian thing. It's our some sort of deep sense of. Egalitarian. It just feels wrong, and it is wrong. So that's right. But that's what I liked about this script. That it's very rare that you see sort of class address, especially in a comedy. And I thought sort of this idea of Canadians and Canadian diplomats. It's a great way to sort of force those issues of middle class morality, and I like that it really poses some serious, confusing ethical questions.
Well, we don't want to give anything away, but there are a number of confusing ethical conundrums brought up here. But what I thought was kind of interesting in terms of the class situation that the movie addresses is that in Canada, your character is someone who works in a domestic, a civil servant, but also a servant. He's a chef. So, my
wife is a civil servant, and I'm a chef, serving or whatever.
And yet,
Service.
when you move to India, the woman who is doing essentially the job that you do at Rideau Hall,
Yes.
and it treats you, she calls you master,
Yes.
she calls you sir, and I thought that was an interesting way of sort of really kind of, in a subtle way, highlighting the differences in class between here and there.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think that was the idea, and that's why I'm drawn to her in the first place, and that's what makes the relationship initially so uncomfortable, that I respect her cooking, and it's just so it's sort of a personal insult when she doesn't get the respect that I think I should get in this similar circumstances. So yeah, so I think that brings us together, and when she realizes that my respect is genuine and my love for the food is genuine, I think it's possible that she can break through these barriers that have been there for a long time.
Richard Crouse.